Hello YouTubers, this is 777 Die Hard Forever, coming at you with another highly anticipated and highly recommended model. Today I'll be doing a review on a JC Wings vintage Air New Zealand Boeing 747-400 in their Lord of the Rings livery in a 1/200 scale model. I purchased this model from Troy's Toys, which is based out of Inboard, Kansas, and its website is www.troystoysinc.com. First, allow me to share with you some information about the history of Air New Zealand and how they came about and in existence and still operating strong today, if you would please. Air New Zealand was established as TEAL, better known as Tasman Empire Airways Limited, on April 26, 1940. Then in 1953, the Australian government purchased 50% of Tasman Empire Airways Limited, TEAL, while the remaining 50% was acquired by the New Zealand government. Then fast forward to 1961. That's when the New Zealand government purchased the Australian government's half share of the airline, and eventually Tasman Empire Airways Limited, TEAL, was renamed on April 1st, 1965 to what has become known today as Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand is the national airline and the national flag carrier for the country of New Zealand, while the corporate headquarters of Air New Zealand is located in a building called the Hub, which is located approximately 12 miles from Auckland International Airport in the reclamation area in central Auckland, New Zealand, while the airline's main hub and base of operations is located on the grounds of Auckland International Airport, which is located approximately 13 miles south of the Auckland City Centre near Mangere, a residential suburb located in the southern part of Auckland, New Zealand. Air New Zealand also has operational hubs located at Wellington International Airport, located in Wellington, New Zealand, and Christchurch International Airport, located in Christchurch, New Zealand. And Air New Zealand's focus cities are located at Los Angeles International Airport, located in Los Angeles, California, and Sydney Kingsford Smith Airport, located in Sydney, Australia. Air New Zealand also flies to 52 destinations in 19 countries and territories across Asia, Europe, North America, South America, and Oceania, with the operating fleet of 54 aircraft, which consists of 30 Airbus A320s, 8 Boeing 777-200ERs, 7 Boeing 777-300ERs, and 9 Boeing 787-9 stretch streamliners. And in addition to the 54 aircraft that currently operates in the Air New Zealand fleet, Air New Zealand also has unfulfilled orders for an additional 17 aircraft, which includes 9 Airbus A320neos, new engine options, 4 Airbus A321neos, new engine options, and 4 Boeing 787-9 stretch streamliners. As of October 2017, or at the time of this video review posting, Air New Zealand currently operates as a certified 4-star airline carrier, according to the international airline review firm Skytrax magazine, and the Boeing customer code for Air New Zealand is 19. However, since this aircraft was supposed to go to Philippine Airlines, the Boeing customer code for Philippine Airlines is F6. Now let's take a look at the front of the box. You see there, you see the aircraft type, the Boeing 747-400 at the top there. The slogan, Airline the Middle Earth. There's the characters right there, Argon and Godus. I'll get into them in a minute. There's the computer generated picture of the aircraft, the Air New Zealand title, along with its logo, the Lord of the Rings decal right here, as well as the model information for the lower part of the box. Now you're looking at the back of the box, you see here a little snag right there, but no big deal. But there's nothing much back there except the warning information you see there at the lower part on the left side of the box, alright? Now you're looking at the top of the box, you see the Boeing 747, the aircraft type, Boeing 747-400, the Air New Zealand title and the logo, the Lord of the Rings decal, and the model information right there. Now looking at the bottom of the box, the same information you saw at the top of the box I showed you previously. Okay. Now you're looking at this prestigious model stand that came with the model, what have you. See the nice little custom plaque there. That's something that JC Wings has been doing since 2013, but as the time of this video review, I hope they're not doing away with this custom plaque, because that would really kill everything. But the model still sturdy, to say the least. And then you come right here. You see the little black pattern right there? That will prevent the model from being damaged or scratched when you put the model on the stand. And then right there, once again, you see the Air New Zealand title, the aircraft type, and then there's the model scale information on this nice little plaque stand. Alright? Now this plastic bag you see here, These are the gear replacement doors inside this plastic bag, featuring 2 little toothpicks in there. Please stay tuned as I go into detail for the purpose of the gear replacements for this model, okay? Now, with all that information out of the way about the history of Air New Zealand, all the details here on this box, the nice little model stand, as well as the gear replacement inside this little package here. With no further ado, everyone, here is the model. There it is, folks. The JC Wing Vintage Air New Zealand Boeing 747-400 in the Lord of the Rings livery in a 1/200 scale model. This is a beauty. Whew. Now, allow me to share with you some information about the Air New Zealand Boeing 747 that they once had in their fleet, which was their backbone to their fleet. Air New Zealand was a previous primary operator of the Boeing 747-400 from 1989 to 2014, when it acquired its first Boeing 747-400 jetliner aircraft, which bears the registration ship number ZK-MBS on December 14, 1989, and acquired their last Boeing 747-400 jetliner aircraft, which bears the registration ship number ZK-MBW on September 8, 1999, as Air New Zealand at one time previously registered and operated as many as 8 of these iconic jetliners in their fleet. As Air New Zealand flew its last Boeing 747-400 flight on September 12, 2014, when it departed San Francisco International Airport in San Francisco, California, and touched down at Auckland International Airport in Auckland, New Zealand on September 14, 2014. As this aircraft has been replaced with the Boeing 777-300ER as the airline's official flagship jetliner. Now let's talk about the specialized Lord of the Rings livery you see displayed here on this aircraft model, okay? In December 2002, Air New Zealand collaborated with New Line Cinema Films as it officially marked its position as the official airline to Middle Earth by decorating 4 of its planes with the Lord of the Rings livery applied as giant decals, as this aircraft, which bears the registration ship number ZK-SUJ, was one of 4 aircraft to be painted in specialized Lord of the Rings livery. The other 3 aircraft were a Boeing 747-400, which bears the registration ship number ZK-MBV, was the first Boeing 747-400 to be painted in a specialized livery, a Boeing 767-300ER, which bears the registration ship number ZK-NCG, and an Airbus A320-200, which bears the registration ship number ZK-OJA, was also painted in the Lord of the Rings livery. This livery also features various actors and actresses from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, as well as the backdrops of the various locations of New Zealand that was used in the film, as this particular aircraft was painted in the Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King livery sometime in early 2003, and was repainted back to the standard livery near the end of 2004. So, with all that information out the way, let's get down to business. Let me show you all the details on this aircraft model. Shall we? Well, let's roll. Okay, we're going to start on the port/left side of the aircraft. Start the front end of it. We see the nose gears right here. The nose gear struts featuring the nose gear lights. I'll show you a better view of those later on in the review. The nose gear doors featuring the partial registration ship number on there, UJ. You see the pedal tubes and the stag ports, what have you, as well as the nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows. I'll show you a better view of those later on in the review as well. Now, this little Star Alliance decal, this decal by the cockpit window you see here, that is the Star Alliance logo, if you can see that. And Air New Zealand joined the Star Alliance on May 3rd, 1999, which consists of 27 airline members from 5 inhabited continents. And this airline includes Air Canada, Lufthansa, SAS Scandinavian Airlines System, Thai Airways International, and United as the 5 founding members. Okay, and you see the Air New Zealand title right here on the upper part, front part of the fuselage, and you see the Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King decal. You see this plate there? Well, it was actually the 3rd and final installment of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, following the Fellowship of the Ring and the 2 Towers, which were released in theaters in 2001 and 2002 respectively. As the 2003 New Zealand, the American epic high fantasy adventure, was produced, written, and directed by legendary director Peter Jackson, based on the 2nd and 3rd volumes of The Lord of the Rings that was written by J.R.R. Tolkien, as Air New Zealand was the airline sponsor of this epic adventure film franchise. Okay, I don't know what all that is. That's got to be some other sponsors there as well. Anybody know, please put that in the comment section for me, please. Now on the edge of the wings here, you got a nice little view of the realistic inboard landing lights right there. It's in jewel, but it looks like they lit up, which is very impressive, which I find impressive. And now you see these nice little engines on here. These engines, these are the General Electric CF6-80C2B1F engine that were used on this particular vintage Air New Zealand Boeing 747-400 jetliner aircraft. And you see the engine cones right there, very impressive there as well. And I don't know what's all that fancy paint right there, but it makes it look kind of unique to say the least, which I like it. It's very cool there. Now I'm gonna turn this aircraft model around, let you see the front end of these turbofan blades, and do spin, folks. Check it out. Now you're looking at the front angle of these engines, and they do spins I mentioned earlier. Check it out there, and then here as well. Perfect. All right. And then you got the inboard landing lights right here. You got a better visual view there, the front angle view of these inboard landing lights right here, as well as the landing gear here on the port side, as well as the landing gear doors there as well, and then the landing gear struts. Now you're looking at the front angle of these engines on the starboard side, and they spin as well. Check it out. Same here as well. Perfect. Perfect. And then you see the inboard landing light right here on the starboard side, as well as the landing gear here on the starboard side there as well. The landing gear door, as well as the landing gear strut right there. You see displayed there. Now you're looking at the front of this aircraft. You got a great visual view of the cockpit windows, the windshield wipers, the nose cone, the nose gears, featuring the nose gear struts, and then there's the nose gear lights right there, the landing gear lights right there, as well as the struts and the nose gear door there as well. So with that said, I'm going to take it back to the port side because there's more information to share with you over there as well. Let's roll. Okay, now we're looking at the middle of the aircraft. Nice little scenery of New Zealand in the background right there. The Airline to Earth slogan right here. Air New Zealand's home country, New Zealand, is where this so-called inhabited area called Middle Earth is located at, where the Lord of the Rings trilogy was mostly filmed at, while at the same time Air New Zealand continues to promote the country of New Zealand as a tourist attraction destination with this unique slogan there. You see that? Okay. And besides the slogan there, you still see part of the New Zealand backdrop right there, some parts of New Zealand. And then the two characters displayed here on this aircraft, here and here. Here are the two main characters from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Aragorn, which is this guy right here. It's spelled Aragorn right here. That's Aragorn, who was played by legendary actor Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen. Okay, that's how I pronounce it. If I didn't, please forgive me on that. And Legolas, which is this character here, who was played by legendary actor Orlando Bloom. Now you got the idea there, okay? Okay, now you're looking at the winglet, how it's painted in the teal blue right there, like greenish blue right here. And you see the red navigation light right there next to the winglet. If you didn't know, these wings are kind of tall, like 6 feet tall, folks. All right, very impressive. Okay, now you're looking at the, got a better visual view of the landing gears on the port side here, right here. The landing gear struts, as well as the landing gear doors there, as well as the center bogey gear here on the port side there as well. Impressive. Okay, now we're looking at the back of the aircraft on the port side here, where you see the Air New Zealand flag right there, that flag decal. And this flag decal represents the country where Air New Zealand currently operates from as the national flag carrier for the country of New Zealand. And then you see the registration ship number right there underneath the New Zealand flag decal right there, ZK-SUJ. Registration ship number ZK-SUJ. This was the 6th Air New Zealand Boeing 747-400 aircraft to enter their fleet, as well as the 2nd Boeing 747-400 aircraft to be painted in the specialized Lord of the Rings livery. And the first test flight on this aircraft took place on June 3rd, 1998, and was supposed to have been delivered to Philippine Airlines, but instead was delivered to ILFC on June 29, 1998. and was then leased out and delivered to Air New Zealand on October 7, 1998. This aircraft was eventually withdrawn from service in March 2011 and was previously stored up at Auckland International Airport temporarily until June 30, 2011, when it was ferried to Tel Aviv, Israel via Los Angeles, California, where this aircraft was converted to a Boeing 747-400F freighter, then was leased out to Southern Air Cargo on December 28, 2011, then was leased out to Air Atlanta Icelandic Cargo on April 30, 2015, and was finally leased out to Saudi Arabian Airlines Cargo on May 5, 2015, as this aircraft is still active in service. We're still at the back of the aircraft on the port side still, where you see the Air New Zealand logo, which is displayed here on the tail here. This is Air New Zealand's logo, which is called the Maori Kuro, which is actually a firm plant that signifies new life, growth, strength, peace, and renewal, as the Kuru was used on the prows of the early Polynesian canoes that sailed the Pacific with its many islands, as this logo was first applied to the tail of Air New Zealand's first DC-10 jetliner that arrived in 1973 and has been the airline's signature trademark logo ever since. Alright, now you're looking at the back of the aircraft here on the port side, where you see the APU, Auxiliary Power Unit, exhaust hole right here. And then there's the strobe light underneath the APU exhaust hole right there, as well as the rear view of this aircraft model. Check it out. Now you're looking at this vintage Air New Zealand Boeing 747-400 from the rear view angle. Now you're looking at the front of the aircraft on the starboard side, where you see the nose gears right here, the nose gear struts, the nose gear lights, the nose gear door featuring the partial registration ship number on UJ. See the pedal tubes and the static ports, what have you. The nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows, the Star Alliance decal, the Air New Zealand titles, the Lord of the Rings decal, the Return of the King, the front cargo container door. And now you're looking at the inboard landing lights right here on the edge of the wing, as well as the General Electric CF6 engines here, very detailed with the engine cones there, very detailed with this nice little unique livery on here. You also see the GE logo here as well as there. Impressive. Now you're looking at the green teal painted winglet here on the starboard side, as well as the green navigation light displayed there as well. You also see the Airline, the Middle Earth slogan there, as well as the New Zealand backdrop right there, as well as Legolas and Aragorn right there. Great, impressive. Now you're looking at the landing gears here on the starboard side, featuring the landing gear struts as well as the landing gear doors. And then you see the center bogey gear here on the starboard side there as well. Once again, you see the two nice little characters from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Aragorn right here, who is played by legendary actor once again, Viggo Mortensen, and Legolas right here, who is played by legendary actor Orlando Bloom. And you also see the rear cargo container door right there, as well as the AFT boat bin door. And then you come over here, you see the registration ship number, as well as the New Zealand flag decal, and the Air New Zealand logo painted on this teal colored tail here as well. Awesome. Alright, before I show you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model, as well as the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model in detail, I'm going to let you see one feature, which is the rolling gears. It rolls somewhat, a little rough there, but it's all good. It does tilt, which is impressive there. And the nose gears right here does swivel a little bit. Not much, little challenge there, but it still swivels somewhat. Okay, so with that said, allow me to show you aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model. Alright, let's roll. Okay, we're gonna start with the aerial bird's eye view. You see here the nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit window, the Poscape hatch door, the Star Alliance decal on both sides, the anti-collision beacon light right here on this distinctive hump right here, the New Zealand tiles on both sides, a high frequency antenna there. See the nice little paint job right there. You see the ADF antennas in 3D. Come here. Okay, then you see the tail here. And then the two little dots here on the end of the horizontal stabilizer over here, as well as over here. Those are the illuminated lights that lit up this tail here when it flew during nighttime. Okay, now let's check out the wings here, folks. No wing walkway, but you got the flaps, slats, aileron, spoils, what have you. See nice little CF6 engines right there, very detailed. So you can come up here, fuel dump valve right there, as well as the winglet. Now let's check on this side, folks. No wing walkway over here, but you got the flaps, slats, aileron, spoils, what have you. See the engines there. Fuel dump valve right here, as well as the winglet there as well. Okay, now you're looking at the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft. See the nose cone, partial white and partial gray under here. The closed nose gear door, as well as the open nose gear door right there. The nose gear. Another antenna there. Anti-collision beacon light right there. The hole where the stand goes in at. The center bogey gears right there. Bogey landing gears, that is. Two more antennas there. Those are the pressure relief valves here and there. Another antenna there. And then there's the APU housing door. It's supposed to be there, but it's missing, but that's where it's supposed to be at. But anyway, the horizontal stabilizers. Go gears, perfect. Tilt a little challenge that one there, but it's all good. See the engines here, there. The retrograde ship number, the fuel dump valve, and the winglet right there. Let's check on this side. Perfect. Gears there, tilt there. There's the engine there. Another engine there. Fuel dump valve here. And the winglet there as well. Perfect. Okay, since I showed you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model, as well as the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model in full detail, now I'm going to put it on that wooden stand that I showed you there. So with no further ado, folks, here is the model on the stand. Check it out. Okay, fine, got this model on the stand with no problem, what have you. See it in the landing takeoff position here on the port side. Nice little livery here, which I find impressive. Now looking at the front of this vintage aircraft from the front view angle with the wings flexing a little bit. Nice little engines on point there, featuring a nice little customized plaque here with all the gears intact. Now you're looking at this vintage Boeing 747 Air New Zealand from the starboard side, featuring the Lord of the Rings livery here, which is really outstanding there. Featuring nice little painted engines here on there, which is very detailed, impressive. And finally, looking at this model from the tail cam angle. See the nice little livery painted there, impressive. All right, before I take this model to stand, I got in this position for a reason, and the reason is the gears. I'm gonna begin to take them off, starting with the front nose gear right here. It's also magnetic and retractable as well. And the gears here, the landing gears here on the port side. There. The landing gears here on the starboard side. There. Okay, now I gotta take them off the stand here, check it out, get the rest of the gears off there. The center bogey gears right there, impressive. They magnetic and retractable as well. So, since I got all the gears off the model, I'm gonna let you see this model at a different angle. Check it out. Okay, fine, got all the gears off there. You see it displayed in flight mode. Now, if you want to continue to display in flight mode, this is one of the options you can choose. But these little gear replacements that I showed you earlier, that's the purpose of these gear replacements, to substitute your gears while you display your model in flight mode. Or you can do the other option, just like I do, just keep it in the gear down position, which the gears on like in a takeoff landing position, gears up, gear down, that's your choice. But I choose to leave mine on there. That adds more value to the model. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and put these gears on this model, take this model stand, and go ahead and wrap up this model review. Alright, let's roll. Okay, now let's check out the seating configuration on this aircraft. You know they no longer have it, I'm gonna give it to you anyway. This vintage Air New Zealand Boeing 747-400 jetliner seated 379 passengers and a 3-class configured cabin layout. Here's the breakdown, folks. From rows 1 to 15, this is on the main deck, which will be from here to about right here. You have 36 business premier class flatbed seats. That's right, 36 business premier class flatbed seats. And then on the upper deck is 16 to 20. And this will be from here to here. You have an additional 10 business premier class flatbed seats, which brings a total of 46 business premier class seats. And then rows 22 to 26, which is the upper deck, which will be from here to here. You have 23 premium economy class seats. And then rows 27 to 30, which will be from here to about right here. You have an additional 16 premium economy class seats, which brings a total of 39 premium economy class seats. And rows 35 to 68, which will be from here all the way back to the rear of the aircraft. You have 294 economy class seats, which brings a total of 379 seats. And finally, Air New Zealand previously utilized their Boeing 747-400s on routes from Auckland, New Zealand to destinations such as Los Angeles, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Vancouver, London Gatwick via Los Angeles, then eventually switched to London Heathrow via Los Angeles, Frankfurt via Los Angeles, Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, Christchurch, Tokyo Narita, Osaka Kansai, Hong Kong, and Beijing capital. Well, folks, this concludes this model review. I'd like to know if you got this model, or you plan on getting this model. I believe you can still get it on eBay, but for the most part, this model is almost hard to get right now. So with that said, take care, God bless, stay tuned, there's more model content coming. Peace.